guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, as promised, I'm gonna talk about multiplayer, but it's gonna be like some very random talking, so no chapter or anything. Just watch this video and hopefully you won't skip the important parts. Currently, multiplayer is emphasized on speed and tandem rather than drift angle or ideal driftline. I mean, you can still do ideal driftline or some very good drifting in lower divisions and get away with it, but you can't do that on higher divisions, especially on Legend, because tandem extra score is just that much greater, guys. So currently, it's like formula drifting or sideways drag racing if you will. And the closer you are to your opponents, the more extra scores you will get. And also, because of so many problems with this multiplayer mode, the devs have been constantly changing the tuning aspects that are related to speed because they're trying to balance out everything. So, if on day 1 you tune your car and it works really great, on day 2 there's a chance that it may not work anymore, so then you have to retune it again, and that's how it currently is. And there's no other way around it until everything got balanced out. Also, you need to pay attention to your car stats to pick which car you should use. Torque determines how easy it is to drift at low speed and how easy it is to maintain the drift speed. The higher the torque, the easier it will be. Horsepower determines how much speed you can get at the top. The higher the value, the more drift speed you can get at the peak power output. But you have to calculate the power to weight ratio and not just picking your car by torque or horsepower alone. And also, from my experience, 5-speed cars are more favorable in multiplayer as they have better power distribution than 6-speed cars. Now, if all that stuff are way too complicated for you, then just use whatever cars that your opponents use. Choosing the right tires is also important as they are directly related to speed, so avoid using street tires at all costs because street tires is very slow. Even if you just started, it's better to use sport tires because it's pretty fast, affordable, and have great durability. And then you can move on to semi-slicks when you are on higher divisions and got more money from the reward. Do not start with semi-slicks earlier on because you wanna make money in multiplayer, not losing money. And also, if you tend to forget to change your tires, you should turn on the auto tire change feature and set it to 50 or 40% or whatever you prefer, because running with less than 30% durability will hurt your score by a lot. And don't forget to stock up some tires once you can afford them to avoid accidental running with worn out tires. And if you want to make more money, you absolutely need to climb to the Legend division. And if you're struggling to get higher ratings, then you should only be playing on tracks that you're good at. For example, if you're good on airfield, then just play on that track and just leave every other tracks. It's gonna be a slow progress, but it's gonna be a progress nonetheless. But then again, we're talking about multiplayer, guys, so you'll win some and you lose some, and it's normal. But if you're on losing streak despite your best efforts, then just leave that multiplayer, give it 2 or 3 days and try again. Usually, your opponents will be much easier by then. And about speed tuning, the only data that you can see is the 0 to 100 acceleration, and there's no rolling acceleration data. This 0 to 100 acceleration will affect how close you are to your opponents at the rolling start and not your chasing speed. It's affected by your ride height, wheels, and transmission tuning. Higher ride height means faster start acceleration, but it also means less stability. Bigger or wider wheel size most of the time will give you faster start acceleration, but on some cars, bigger or wider wheels will negatively impact the acceleration. And your tire's pressure also plays a role in it. Some cars are better with high pressure and some cars are better with low pressure. Transmission setup plays a huge role in it as well, as it directly affects your power distribution. And don't forget to check your stats before and after making changes to the tuning so you'll know that you tuned your car to be better and not worse. But here's the thing, that's all just about 0 to 100 acceleration, not your chasing speed. And to tune your chasing speed, you absolutely have to experiment with your wheels and your transmission. because you may have higher chasing speed with lower 0 to 100 acceleration, or you may not. So like I said, experiment with your tuning. And tuning is the most important part in multiplayer, and if you don't know how to tune your cars, learn. Also, you absolutely need luck, not just skill and knowledge. I mean, if you're facing an opponent with the same car stats, that's basically a good luck, because you basically just need to follow them and get high score easily. But if you're facing a faster opponent, or even a slower opponent, that's not gonna be good. Because if your opponent is way faster than you cannot chase them. And if your opponent is way slower than you have to make a lot of adjustments on your drift if you want to follow them. And this is the reason why you'll find some cars that are way slower than you but scored much more than you even if you follow them perfectly. It's because in the previous run, they were paired with another car with about the same speed as their car, and they were drifting on their ideal drift speed. And if you follow them with a faster car, their drift speed is not your ideal drift speed, so it's normal that you'll score less. Turning off smoke in graphics settings also helps with visibility, and I recommend doing that in multiplayer. Also, do everything you can to improve your FPS. Lower your graphics settings and use adaptive quality if needed. And one more thing, multiplayer and single player tuning are very different, so use different tuning slot for each one. That's it for this video. Like this video if it's helpful for you, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.